GamingAndGear, and the developer behind Fez, Phil Fish, absolutely just, he was ranting about the 3DS in a rather unprofessional Twitter post. And I don't think he's really been known to say this kind of stuff. There was one of them, I watched Indie Game the movie, and one of them was known to make this kind of stuff. I don't remember, it was either him or the guy who made Braid, Jonathan Blow. But let's get on with reading it, and I'm going to respond to each one of the points after I finish reading it. I'm going to cut out the language that's, I'm going to just say like effing for the F word and stuff like that, just because, I don't know, family friendly, but the uncensored version will be in the description. If you want to read that, you can read it inside your mind. Dude, thinking's like reading your mind. Anyway, so let's start it off. Quote, started playing my first Monster Hunter game last night on 3DS. It's not exactly playable without that Circle Pad Pro atrocity. ... I don't understand. Why would you even release a game like that on a platform like that? Huh? Why is it not on, let's say, Vita? You know, the one where you can control the camera? It's too bad because Monster Hunter looks basically like Phantasy Star Online, but not in space, and I love me some PSO, Phantasy Star Online. But the whole entire thing was a mistake, if you ask me. Also, I'm so sick of this dual-screen clamshell BS. The second screen adds nothing. It's a gimmick. 3D is a gimmick. It's too bad the Vita isn't a bigger hit, because hardware-wise, it's perfect. It has one awesome screen and 2 joysticks. There's never been a single DS or 3DS that didn't make me go, I wish this was on a single screen. I've never played any game ever anywhere else, anywhere where I was like, I wish this had a second screen. And absolutely effing nobody ever went, I wish I had a second screen that's smaller and a different aspect ratio and touch, but not in 3D. The Game Boy Micro was the best handheld ever. I wish Nintendo would make a slightly bigger, more powerful GBA thing type. Okay, let's start off. Monster Hunter is playable without the Circle Pad Pro. I have it on the demo on my 3DS. It is fully playable. The little L targeting thing, kind of like Zelda, works very well. And this is just for the XL. I have big thumbs, and touching that touchscreen to control the camera with the little D-pad thing works totally great for me. Now I don't know his thoughts on the Wii U, because this is basically the same thing. If he has a problem with it not being on second screen, but let's address it not being on Vita. First off, the Vita is only sold, I think it's 3 or 4 million, something like that, something way low, and is around what the Wii U sold. But of course, it's been out for, what is it, a year now? Year and a half, something like that. And it's barely sold anything. It's already into its life. It's not getting a price cut anytime soon in the US, according to Sony. So, I don't know. It's not really worth it to develop a game like that and change the UI and all that stuff to be on the Vita just so you can sell to the 4 million amount of people who have a Vita worldwide, whereas you can sell to the, 20 or 25 million people who have a 3DS. And it's way better. Also, the vast majority of people, I think, have a regular 3DS instead of an XL, partially because you buy in early, or you like smaller size, more portability, that's arguable though, or you just like the lower cost, it's like $30 cheaper. So, those people can go out and buy the $20 Circle Pad Pro, which, by the way, makes it a lot more comfortable, unlike the GBA Micro, which is known to cause hand cramps because it is smaller than most people's palm. Yeah, that's not the best system ever. Portable system. My opinion is the DS, just because backwards compatibility with GBA, all those fantastic games. But anyway, that's besides the point. Also, side note, GBA, most of the good games on there, and this is no deterrent from it, because currently it's my second favorite portable system. I don't have that many games in the 3DS. But most of the games on there, most of the best games, were either remakes or re-releases. Final Fantasy V, which is actually, well, it's Final Fantasy V in Japan, never came out in the States, because 2 was 4 and 3 was 6, if that makes any sense to you. Super Mario World, all the Super Mario Advance games, Link to the Past. Metroid Zero Mission was a remake, but it had some updates, so I don't really consider that a port. There's just a ton of ports to the GBA from 16-bit games that are good, but there's not a lot of new games on the GBA. It's probably the lowest of any Nintendo console, but that's besides the point. I don't know, I haven't played Phantasy Star Online, so I wouldn't know about that point. Now let's get to the dual screen and 3D being a gimmick. Dual screen is not a gimmick. I don't know if he means touch. He didn't directly criticize touch, so I'm assuming he's not criticizing touch, but the bottom screen is touch, so let's go with that. First off, it makes inventory swapping in Ocarina of Time 3D so much better. You don't have to pause the entire game, and, well, you do have to pause, but it's way easier. Maybe it's just because it's faster. I don't know. It's also useful for games like Yoshi's Island DS, where the longer screen allows you to see more of the level. I personally think it's a great idea, and inventory management with it, and map, and that kind of stuff, works so well with it. Especially on the Wii U too. And also, he criticizes it for having a different aspect ratio. Let me open up my 3DS XL here so I can just kind of like get the base perspective. If it was the same aspect ratio, at least on the XL, there would be no room for buttons. Like, you could cram like 4 buttons on that, not even a D-pad or an analog stick. It can't be widescreen. It just can't. That wouldn't allow for control. Plus, it doesn't need to be widescreen. Because not like the Wii U, we're going to be playing whole games on the bottom screen. Anyway, it not being in 3D, that would just interfere with the top screen's 3D. Because when you're looking at a 3DS, you're kind of seeing the top screen, but you're also seeing the bottom screen. And when you have the 3D turned on, you got to look directly at the top screen. But if there's 3D on the bottom screen, where you're not in the sweet spot, it would distract your eyes and maybe even cause eye strain. So that would not be a good idea. Also, about nobody ever wanting a second screen, I am sure Nintendo did research about that before they released the DS about what people wanted, and I'm sure they found that people liked it. So, I don't know where you're pulling that fact from, but I'm sure it's a reliable source. Also, I mean, that's pretty much it. This is just kind of a rebuttal to him, but what do you guys think about this? Do you think he's right and they should have made Monster Hunter 3 on Ultimate, which I assume is what he's talking about, because that's the only Monster Hunter game for the 3DS, as I'm aware of. Well, yeah, it is. So, do you think this is a rightful accusation and they should have released it on the Vita with an awesome screen and 2 joysticks? Or do you think that he's just spouting stuff out his butt because the camera's a tiny bit more wonky when, I mean, I can't remember where I read it, but I remember I read that Nintendo had to choose on the XL, which I assume he's talking about because that's the newer model, or the mini one, whichever, that it came down to bulkier battery, less battery life, or the circle pad. Like, that was, if they were going to attach the circle pad, it was either a bigger battery, which means a way bigger size, or they would have to have reduced battery life, which the whole point of the XL, and which the reason I got it, was the increased battery life. About an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on 3D or not. But thanks for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.